So walk me through young Lou Harris growing up in Rockaway, which is his own thing. And I remember Rockaway being an interesting space in Queens, and for Black people in particular. How do you even get introduced to surfing?
Well, I skateboarded in Manhattan, for about 25 years. And then when I moved to Rockaway, I was just, kind of retiring from skateboarding. And then I walked up to the beach and there was this black guy in the water, this one black guy. His name is Brian B.J. James. He actually has a book called The Nautical Negro. And I seen him out there surfing. And then the girl I was dating at the time, she's like, you know what, that's what you're going to do. And when he came out of the water, he saw me standing there, and I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. I had a Wu-Tang shirt on. I got two Wu-Tang tattoos, and he walked up to me and he was like, Wu-Tang. And he's like, what's your name? I said, Lou. He's like, are you trying to surf? And I said, yeah. And he took me under his wing. He taught me the do's and don'ts, taught me about Riptides. He also taught me too, a lot of white surfers, they're going to try me in the water because I'm a Black surfer. But he said, you got to remember, he goes, you're Black, get ghetto on them. But I never had to deal with that in the water, but it's been a beautiful thing, and, we teach free surf lessons, free skateboard lessons, free cooking classes, free swimming classes. So it's been amazing.
How's the pandemic impacted your business?
Uh, like not that bad. I mean, a little bit per se. I mean, usually like we have a lot of, about 150 kids a summer. Last summer we had about maybe about 75. But our normal kids pretty much, didn't come as much. I have kids that usually come every day, but a lot of kids didn't come as much. So, but we've been doing good. I mean, like now we're taking off now. I mean, we were on the Today Show with Al Roker, and that was a big boost for us. We were in Rolling Stone. We were in Surfer Magazine, another huge boost. And then next week we're going to be in Patricia, what's her name? I can't even think of her. Oh, Danielle Levitt, the famous photographer. They did a photo shoot on the BSA, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna come out in a couple weeks.
Black surfing. Okay, so only if you're in New York with the East Coast chapter, if you have a child and you're in the New York area, you can enroll them. They're gonna learn how to swim, surf, skateboard, and do all of this stuff. How much does it cost?
Oh no, this is free. This is this is for, oh yeah, all free. Like we're nonprofit, so we're sponsored by Vans, the sneaker company. We're sponsored by Red Bull. We're sponsored by Sticky Bumps Wax. So what happens is Vans sends us free sneakers, free clothing, and then what I do is I give it out to the kids. I give it to the kids. I give it to homeless people because before I got injured, like about 6-7 months ago, I tore my meniscus, and before that, I was a doorman on the Upper East Side, like right next door to Fox 5, actually, 68th and 3rd up there. And there's a lot of homelessness up there. So what I would do is I used to work the night shift. So I would pack a bag of Vans and I would give them out up there. And that's a beautiful thing. And we're sponsored by Red Bull. So like what we did was this last summer, we had a lot of paddle outs, a lot of BLM paddle outs supporting, Black Lives Matter and George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. And Red Bull took notice, and any event that we had, they sponsored with drinks. In December, Red Bull donated $8,000 to us so we could buy the kids all Christmas surfboards. So it's been crazy. I mean, these past 6 years, I've been working my overnight shift as a doorman, and from 12 to 9, and then at 9 o'clock, I leave Manhattan and I get to Rockaway about 10:30, and I get in the water with the kids. And I've been doing this for 6 years, and it's paying off now.
Lou Harris is his name. Black Surfing Association. At Black_surfing_Rockaway is the IG. So how much is a surfboard and where do you get them?
Surfboards are anywhere from brand new, anywhere from about $300 to about $1,000, and you can get them pretty much at any surf shop. But but by the grace of God, we're so blessed. We get donated surfboards, so it's a beautiful thing. So I get to give them out to free. I mean, free to kids. I mean, kids who normally wouldn't have the opportunity to get them. So and that's my thing. I mean, when I first moved to Rockaway, I remember I was walking down the street with my surfboard, and there was these 4 Black kids. They saw me coming. And they're like, yo, man, Black people don't surf, and like, and I was a little, PO'd about it. And my mother said, Louis, you got to realize, these kids don't have the same upbringing that you and your brother have. Like I grew up in Long Island. My parents spoiled the crap out of us. So we were swimming in 1977. I was 5 years old. So, and a lot of kids out here don't have that same upbringing. That's another reason why I started doing this. I wanted these kids to know what goes on in their own backyard. You got a lot of Black kids who live 50 feet from the beach. People don't know 75% of youth drownings are black kids. And this all stems back to, the segregation of pools those days, where black kids didn't get the opportunity. So that's where we come in. And like I said, it feels good when you go on my Instagram page, or I do, just looking through it, and I see, the typical, the ordinary black that would not have a surfboard. His parents don't have $500, $600 to go get a board, and that's a beautiful thing that we get it donated and they get it for free.
Are you teaching kids how to swim in the ocean? Or are you teaching them in a swimming pool?
No. Back in 1977, when I was 5 years old, I learned how to swim in the ocean in Amityville, Long Island, right down the block from the Amityville Horror House. That's what I learned to swim, right in that ocean. And that's what I'm going to put the kids in. I'm going to put the kids out in the water here in Rockaway. We're going to do it when it's a low tide. We'll have some little kickboards, and we're just going to teach them how I learn how to swim. It took me about 2 months to learn how to swim. So, but again, I think these kids should have the opportunity, and they should also know what goes on in their own backyard. They should know the drop-offs. They should know the riptides, how to spot a riptide, how to get out of a riptide. This is your backyard. You should know what happens in it.
Okay, so walk us through, or surf us through. I love swimming. I love getting into the water. I love the ocean, especially the clean ocean. Some of our beaches are filthy, but some of them are really beautiful. And so you get in, you got your board, you paddle on your board out to the waves. Like what's the process of surfing? And then you stand up. Like how do you do this?
No, what you do is, well, if I'm teaching a kid, I have him on land on the beach, and then I have him lay on his board, and we do a paddle, and pretty much it's a push up and you jump to your feet. That's how I tell the kids. It's a push up, jump to your feet. That's all it is. Have your body square, the legs bent. I call it the poopy stance, the caveman stance. Have your knees bent, and then So let's say that I'm going out to go surf. I'm going to put my wetsuit on. I'm going to be a couple of buddies of mine, and we're going to paddle out to the lineup. And the lineup is where everybody is at. That's where everybody's lined up to catch that wave. So what I do is, one thing that BJ taught me, the black surfer I saw, he taught me, he said, Lou, you don't always got to go to where everybody's at, man. He's like, you can go down there. He said, it's the same wave here, it's the same wave there, which is true. People come to Rockaway and they're like, I gotta surf Beach 90th. I'm like, no, the same wave is on Beach 97. So that's what I do. We'll go paddle out, and I don't like going into the groups. I like to go a little, and I'll paddle out, and then when I see a wave coming, I'll be facing it. When I see it coming, I turn around, body adjusted, paddle. I check my timing, look for the wave, and then stand up and ride it, and it feels amazing.
Lou, I lack core strength in the midsection, covered in hair and soft tissue mainly. What advice do you have for me if I wanted to get into surfing? Is that gonna be a problem for me? My lack of core
one
strength?
Thing is always no. The bigger problem is gonna be all that hair on your stomach, because if you go out there with no shirt on, your hair is gonna stick to the wax, the surf wax on the board, and it's actually gonna rip it out. So that's why I think he would be in a lot of pain. I think as soon as he stand up, he'd be smiling and laughing because of the wave. And after that, I think he'd have to go get in the back of an ambulance. He'd be in pain.
He'd be bleeding. All right. So why not? So is that why you wear a wetsuit?
Yeah, you wear a wetsuit when the water's cold, but when you want to go surf, I would say Cena would wear a rash guard. And a rash guard and you can get a cool rash guard too, like something very nice that's going to be hugging to your body, stuff like that too. But Cena, if you ever want to come out and come surf, you let me know, and then you can tell your friends a black guy taught you how to surf. I had this one girl, right? Before I started teaching the kids, right? I had this one girl, and she didn't know I was black, over the phone. So I booked the lesson, right? And then I say, listen, I told her, I said, I'll be on the beach. Look for me. I'm wearing a wetsuit. I didn't think I had to tell her I was black. So she gets. I see her coming. She's looking around. So I walk up to her. I'm like, hey, are you looking for Lewis? I'm Lewis, surf lessons. She's like, no, I'm looking for Lewis. He's a surfer, not you. I'm like, no, I'm the guy you spoke to on the phone. She's like, no, leave me alone, please. I was like, okay.
Oh my God.
I'm like, sorry, okay. So then, I was like, wow, because I didn't want to bother her. So I go get on my board. And then my two friends, my instructors, they were a little up the beach. So they saw what was going on. So I go paddle in the water just to go surf. So this girl could see, hey, this guy knows how to surf. He's got some black guy on the beach bothering you. So I go surf, and then I see her talking to my two friends. So my two friends are telling her, hey, yeah, that's Lou from the BSA. That's him right there. So I see them calling me over. I get out, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You know, I really didn't know. Like, I didn't mean anything. I'm not racist or anything. I'm just so sorry. I had a long train ride from the Upper East Side. I'm like, don't worry about it. So
Man, why do racist people always blame their racism on like stress or something?
Trains,
Exactly.
yeah, like a train.
Dumb
Come
stuff.
on.
And that was her first, and she said that I had to go long train ride here. Please forgive me. This is not me. But yeah, no, but I took her out anyway, and you know, it was like, and she ended up being a good surfer. So yeah, but that was funny, you know, like because like
but she called. Wait, hold on. She called Black Surfing Association.
Yeah.
What did she think the B stood for?
Exactly. And that's why when I went up to her, but when she made that kind of stink face, like you're bothering me, I said, you know, let me leave her alone. You know, I live here. I don't know about anything. I'm bothering her. So but that was funny.
All right.
Wow.
Craziest thing has happened to you surfing. Sharks, you know, getting sucked under the water with a current.
Craziest thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you're ready for this, but I'll tell you. So when it's good waves out there and you don't want to get out of the water, you know, a lot of people, they pee in their wetsuit. You know, so you pee in your wetsuit. Everybody does it. You know, that's why I never buy rentals. That's why I never use rentals. I always buy a new one, because you can't tell me someone's never pissed in that wetsuit, because they did. You know. So anyway, so there was a hurricane, right? It was a nice, good, beautiful day here in Rockaway. Clean, you know, head high waves, beautiful. And my buddy, he's just killing it. He's catching wave after wave. So he comes up to me, and his eyes are like crossed. I'm like, what's wrong with you? He's like, oh, Lou. He's like, yeah. He's like, you know, I really gotta go, you know, do a number 2. He's like, I gotta take a dump, but I don't want to get out of the water. I'm like, go get out of the water. I said, yo, go do your thing. So he paddles away. So I don't see him for like maybe 30 minutes. So I see him when, you know, I catch a wave, I paddle back and I see him. I'm like, oh, well, that was quick. You're done. He's like, oh, I didn't even go. I said, what happened? He goes, he took a crap on himself in his wetsuit because he didn't want to get out of the water because he wanted to surf. So he crapped. And I said, what? And I paddled like so far. I was like Greg Louganis, yo. I was so far away from him, man. I couldn't believe that. But
Greg Louganis is a diver.
No, he's a great swimmer. So I was sweet.
Is he?
Yeah.
I thought Michael Phelps would have been a better reference for next time you tell the story. I was like,
he
Michael
just told
Phelps.
a poop story. You can't correct him about the Michael Phelps or Greg
black
Louganis.
swimmer. Hold on, we just had the black swimmer on last year. Damn it. God. All right, I got to look this up because it's gonna bother me. Look how I'm searching. Black Olympic swimmer. All right, here we go. You ready? Oh no, it came up with Ian Black. That's not him. Maybe I gotta say African. Colin. What is it?
Cullen Jones.
Cullen Jones. That's right. Yeah. So next time you tell the story, I was out of there like Cullen Jones.
Yeah. Okay.
And then force people to go look him up.
Thanks.
Have you ever done number 2 in your wetsuit?
No, never. And I rarely pee in my wetsuit. Like I try not to drink anything before I go surf because that is a nasty smell. Like once you do it over 2 or 3 times, your wetsuit starts to really, really stink. And then like,
I can imagine. So the ocean salt water's not cleaning that out?
No, I mean, once you pee in that wetsuit, it is embedded in it. It smells like onions. It's disgusting.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. Never sharks. Have you had any shark encounters?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You know, like when I'm teaching the kids, I'll have like sharks like bump into you. We call sharks the men in the gray suits. That's what we call them here. And, you know, I tell the kids that, you know, it's like a shark coming on land and seeing people. Like, you know, you can't be surprised if you see a shark. That's their habitat. But, you know, you could tell the difference between a shark and then a fish. A fish will just, you know, bump and slide next to you. A shark bumps into you, but they don't have teeth. They feed off plankton. So a lot of these sharks here that you'll see in Rockaway that get washed up ashore, those are the ones that are bumping into me. I mean, when I first started teaching the kids, I used to get a little nervous, but now they don't do anything. And it's actually kind of cool too. You know, I mean, because, you know, they actually bump you really hard. They poke you really hard, but like nothing happens.
Okay. All right. No, never been close to drowning. Never had a board hit you in the head and you thought you weren't going to be here anymore?
In Puerto Rico, when I first started surfing, yeah, that happened in Puerto Rico when I was paddling out, because paddling out to get to the lineup, in Puerto Rico is about a 5 to 10 minute paddle. It's a long break. Here in Rockaway, it's a 3 minute paddle. So, that long paddle, there's a riptide. I was getting caught out there, and, thank God I knew how to swim. And, being a surfer, you grow accustomed and you train yourself how to hold your breath. So I knew how to hold my breath pretty good, thank God, because if I didn't, I would have drowned. But yeah, by the grace of God, I've been lucky surfing, not too many injuries.
Give us a, how do you see a riptide?
Oh, a riptide is pretty much two bodies of water that merge together. And then it's like they form like a conveyor belt. They come in, they come together, and they go back out. And that's what happens. That's, a lot of people that, you get people that come out to Rockaway, and maybe it's because I'm 49 years old. I'm up there in age, but when I see people come to Rockaway, they come from the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan. The first thing they do is they go get liquor. They go buy, and I'll be in the store and I'm gonna tell them, like, yo, listen, man, you're going to the beach, it's a hot sun. You should replenish what, and then, man, F you, man, mind your business. And those are the people who drown here. Because think about it, you're coming out here, let's say you come to the Bronx, it's you and your boys, you got your girlfriend, you guys are having a good time, you're drinking, you get caught in a riptide. And now you're too nervous and proud to yell for help, and that's how you drown. Look, a lot of people who drown here in Rockaway, they're not from Rockaway. Everybody who lives here knows about that riptide. When you check the statistics and see who drowned here, it's some guy from Brooklyn. And then this one time, this guy drowned, and he drowned on beach 87, and the tide was going uptown. That guy, that guy, they didn't find him for 2 days, and I was doing a surf lesson, and that dude floated right by me, and my student didn't even see that guy. I saw this guy floating right by. I said, oh my, that's that dude. I got my student right out of the water, and I didn't go in the water for like 2 months after that. Me out. So that's why from now on, like here in Rockaway, like whenever you see a helicopter, and 9 times out of 10, it's somebody drowned.
People want to sign up right now for a surfing lesson. They have to be in. Can you do it virtually? No. Yes.
Surf lesson? No. I mean, like we could actually. I mean, if you have a surfboard at home, you could practice the pop up. But like, I'd rather have you here, so we can practice the pop up on the beach. You can check out the riptides and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And are the Black Surfing Association is national? So you just happen to be the founder of the East Coast chapter, but they're BSAs all over the country, all over the world.
Just two. There's one in LA that started in 1975 by Tony Corley, and then I got permission from Tony to start an East Coast chapter here.
So if somebody is a Black surfer and they want to start it in an area, say Virginia or Florida or New Mexico or Mexico, who do they reach out to?
I guess they'd have to speak to Tony. They got to talk to him, and they got to gain his trust, and he has to know you, because then he has to give you the tax ID number, and then you got to open up an account, and then he's got to see you grow. He's got to see what you do. He's got to see how good you are with kids, how you are with community work, and that's what happened with me. Yeah.